Imposter syndrome, the lie that keeps you stuck. Imposter syndrome is that inner voice that whispers, you're not good enough, you don't belong here, you're just pretending. For many people, it's just background noise. But for others, especially those who've overcome adversity, it can feel like a weight on your chest, keeping you from breathing fully, from speaking up, from going after what you deserve. I know this feeling personally. And if you're like me, someone who's had to fight harder than most just to get to the starting line, you know how loud that voice can be. Growing up with cerebral palsy, I wasn't given a clear roadmap. There wasn't some perfect blueprint handed to me for how to succeed. I had to build my own path. But even as I started seeing results, started building my portfolio, learning the buy, borrow, die strategy, and documenting my journey, that voice still crept in. Who are you to be doing this? Who's going to take you seriously? But here's what I've learned, that voice is a liar. Imposter syndrome doesn't come from your failures. It shows up when you start doing things that matter, when you dare to start, when you stop watching from the sidelines and step onto the field. That's when it starts screaming the loudest. Why? Because part of you knows you're growing, you're evolving, and your old self, comfortable in doubt, is scared of being left behind. The truth is, you don't need permission to begin. All you have to do is start. That's it. Start. The magic doesn't come from waiting until you feel ready. The magic comes from moving before you feel ready and executing consistently. When I launched my content talking about investing, disability, growing up in the Bronx, or just my day to day, I wasn't trying to be perfect. I was trying to be real. I wasn't trained in media or finance. I wasn't born into wealth. I just started. And then I kept going every day. A little more, a little better. Every short I posted, every dollar I invested, every time I borrowed smartly and let my assets grow instead of selling, it was me executing, not because I felt confident, but because I refused to let that voice win. That's the formula. Start, then execute. Imposter syndrome will make you think your lived experience doesn't count, that you're somehow faking your way into spaces you've earned through grit and resilience. But the reality is this: you don't need a degree to speak truth. You don't need Wall Street credentials to invest wisely. You don't need a perfect body or perfect voice to create meaningful, monetizable content. You just need to do the work. Think about this. How many people out there are doing less than you but feeling more confident? Confidence isn't always based on competence. It's based on repetition, belief, and momentum. Every time you take a step forward, whether it's investing $50 into your brokerage or uploading a video when you're nervous, you chip away at that imposter mindset. It's not about proving yourself to others, it's about proving to yourself that you belong, that your story matters, that your strategy works, that your journey, your way is valid. So if you're feeling that doubt creep in, remember, it's a sign that you're doing something real. Don't stop. Don't second guess. Just start. Then execute like your future depends on it, because it does.